School School Board. We started our meetings earlier this afternoon with our study session where we heard from our elementary schools, Three Rivers, Whittier, and Mark Twain. We'd like to thank them for coming to our study session and sharing their data and all of their amazing growth with us. And at this time, I will call this regular meeting of the Pasco School Board of Directors to order. And as usual, we will start with the flag salute. This afternoon or this evening, we have the Pasco Digital Learning Academy with Ms. Hockaday introducing some of her students with us who are here to lead us in the flag salute. So we'll first have her introduce the students.
Good evening, Board President Brown, Superintendent Whitney, and members of the board. I am Megan Hockaday, the director of our Virtual Learning Academy. And as our programs are offered K-12, I've brought a representative from each of our program from our different grade levels with me tonight. So we are really proud of our virtual learning students and all that they have accomplished. These students have shown incredible determination, flexibility, and focus, and they've stayed connected, engaged, and committed to their education in a whole new way. It's been really amazing to see how they've grown. Many of them have been with us for a very long time, not just academically, but in confidence and independence as well. And their success is a reflection of their hard work as well as the support from their families and our dedicated staff. So they are going to introduce themselves tonight. So do we want to start with?
Hello, my name is Austin Douglas. I am an IPAL and TriTech student in the 11th grade. Today I have brought with me my mom and dad.
Hello, my name is Sam Gatewood. I'm in the P3. I'm a P3 student in the 4th grade. Today I've brought my mom, dad, and sister with me.
Hello, my name is Erilyn Kershaw, and I am an IPAL 7th grade student, and I have brought me with my parents today.
My name is Zach, and I'm a preschool 7th grade student, and today I have brought my mom and my sister.
My name is Veronica. I'm in preschool 5th grade, and today I brought my friend.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Parents, can we get a quick wave from you so we can see your proud, shining faces of these wonderful children? Thank you. To our students from the Pasco Digital Learning Academy, our student board reps have something, commemorative gift for you for your recitation of the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you, parents, for making the time to share your children with us and to share their talents in the Pledge of Allegiance. Miss Richardson, may we please have a roll call?
Amanda Brown.
Present.
John Kennedy.
Present.
Steve Norford.
Present.
Steve Simmons.
Excused.
Amy Phillips.
Excused.
Owen Bergstrom.
Present.
Mason Burke.
Present.
And Marina.
Present.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson. The next item on our agenda is the approval of our regular board meeting minutes from March 25th, 2025. I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve our board meeting minutes from our meeting on March 25th, 2025. We will approve that motion by a voice vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next on our agenda, the agenda review. Superintendent Whitney.
There are no additions or changes to the agenda. However, I would like to call the board's attention to a request for an executive session under 4230-110-1G for the review of a performance of a public employee.
Thank you, Superintendent Whitney. The next items on our agenda are our special recognition. We have 2 of them tonight, and Ms. Tensmeyer will lead us in both of those.
I need the microphone. Good evening, Board President Brown, Superintendent Whitney, and members of the board. Tonight, we're proud to recognize and celebrate a group of outstanding educators in Pasco School District who have earned their National Board Certification over the past year. National Board Certification is one of the most respected professional credentials available in the field of education. It was created to develop, retain, and recognize accomplished teachers and to promote ongoing improvement in teaching and learning across school districts nationwide. The educators we're honoring tonight have reached the highest level of achievement in their profession. They completed a rigorous, performance-based, peer-reviewed certification process that demonstrates their proven impact on student learning and academic growth. You may not realize the incredible time and commitment this process requires. Earning National Board Certification typically takes between 1 and 5 years. Candidates complete 4 components, each evaluated by trained teachers in the same certificate area. The process includes 3 in-depth portfolio entries, focused on teaching practice, constructed response exercises, and a content knowledge assessment that includes 45 selected response items. On average, candidates invest between 200 to 400 hours to complete the full process, and certification is not guaranteed. This is a significant professional milestone, and we're thrilled to celebrate 4 Pasco educators who have earned this distinction. So as I call your name, please join us up here. Susan Jensen from Ochoa Middle School. Samantha Schulins-Briggs from McLaughlin Middle School. Elizabeth Warenga Lee from Chess Elementary School. And Julianne Suevas from Robinson Elementary School. And at this time, I'd like to invite Becky Schlegel, our National Board Certified Trainer, to say a few words. Becky has guided and supported these educators throughout their certification journey and has played a key role in their success.
Superintendent Whitney, Board, I'd just like to congratulate these newest National Board teachers to the National Board Fraternity. I have your fraternity pins to wear proudly on your badge to signify that you are a National Board Certified teacher. So thank you for coming tonight, and I have your certificates.
And we're going to get a picture of all you together. So Lucy, you want to take a picture? You guys want to open them up? Perfect. Congratulations. Okay. And next, we have one more recognition. Tonight, we're proud to present a Partners in Kindness Award, also known as the Pink Award, to 5 Star Guttering in recognition of their outstanding generosity and unwavering commitment to Pasco schools. I'd like to invite Oscar and Adriana Curiel, owners of 5 Star Guttering, to please join us. You can go with them. Okay. So the Pink Award honors community members who contribute more than $1,000 in goods, services, or financial support to benefit Pasco students and staff. 5 Star Guttering exemplifies the spirit of giving with their generous $1,500 donation to support our North Star Awards, Pasco School District's signature recognition program celebrating employees who go above and beyond to support student success. Thanks to their contribution, North Star honorees receive a monogram plaque from Superintendent Whitney in recognition of their incredible dedication to Pasco students. These plaques are presented during surprise visits that highlight the heart and impact of our outstanding staff. Beyond the North Stars, Five Star Guttering is a proud peak partner to Angelo Elementary, actively participating in events like Monster Mash Night, Teacher Appreciation, staff recognition, and the school's 20th anniversary celebration. And their support doesn't stop there. They also donated and installed gutters for the new Team Pasco House, turning the installation into a hands-on learning opportunity for our students. Through their ongoing involvement and generous contributions, they continue to make a meaningful and lasting impact across our district. So I'm going to give them this plaque.
Thank you so much for your very, very, like it says, partners in kindness, your kind donations to our school. Our students are, and we as a board are very grateful to you. And so thank you for all of your support. And to the board certified teachers, Ms. Schlegel is right. There is a lot of work that goes into being a board certified teacher, not only work, but a decent amount of their personal funds as well in order to get that certification. And once they have the certification, it's not a lifetime certification. They still have to renew it every 5 years. So it's a lot of work, and there's a lot of work in that initial certification. And then that also allows them to be certified, as it says, national board certified, so they can teach in any state without having to recertify state by state. And it is a very high honor. So congratulations to you, teachers, and thank you so much to our community partners. Our next agenda item is audience comments. The Pasco School Board of Directors appreciates and welcomes comments from our staff, from parents, from community, and from students. Public comment is open to anyone here in the boardroom, as well as anyone who's attending our meeting online. There is a 2-minute time limit on public comment, and Ms. Richardson has that timer in front of her, which will begin when you begin your comments. If you could please, if you do choose to comment, state your name and affiliation with the district. And then as you continue your comments, after 1 minute and 30 seconds, the light will turn yellow and then red at 2 minutes and beep. Please wrap up your comments at that time. And if you wish to comment on an agenda item that we have this evening, there will also be public comment portions after the agenda items. So with that being said, is there anyone here in the boardroom who wishes to address the board? Please approach the podium.
Good evening. I'm Amy Berg. I'm Chihuahua High School math teacher, International Club advisor. I have here tonight with me 2 special guests from Yamate Gakuin High School. They brought 41 students from Japan, from Yokohama, Japan. They're here for 2 weeks. And I have an English teacher, Midori, and art teacher, Rio. Midori would like to address the board.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Midori Moro, and I'm a teacher at Yamate Gakuin High School in Japan. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for the opportunity to speak here this evening. On behalf of Yamate Gakuin High School, I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to the Pasco School District and the school board for your continued cooperation and support of our program. Pasco School District has been a dedicated and trusted partner for many years, and we are truly grateful for this lasting relationship. It is a great honor to be here once again and to meet all of you. Through my work as an educator, I have come to deeply understand how meaningful and valuable this exchange program is, not only for our students, but hopefully for yours as well. In today's world, where social media and the internet make it seem easy to learn about different cultures, we know that true understanding requires more than just information. It is only through real-life experiences, meeting face-to-face, sharing daily life, and engaging in direct interaction, that we begin to genuinely understand and appreciate one another's differences. It is my sincere hope that this program will continue for many years to come. I believe that through these exchanges, more people in both our communities, in our broader society will come together to build a deeper, more compassionate understanding of the world. Once again, thank you for welcoming our students into your homes, schools, and your community. We warmly welcome you and invite you to visit us in Japan, especially when your students have the opportunity to come to Yamate. Thank you very much.
Well, it's not usual board procedure for us to respond to public comment. We were aware that you were going to be here tonight and be addressing us about your 41 students, and we're so grateful that you have chosen Pasco School District as a place for your students to experience this country, and that you were with your generosity to share your students with us. And so we have a gift for you, and we'd like to give it to you. The board would like to present it to you and then take a picture together, if that's all right. Okay.
You're such a leader.
It's almost like I knew what we were doing.
Yeah. I thought we were going to fit on there.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you for allowing us to break with tradition to thank our visitors from Japan. Are there any further public comments from attendees in the boardroom? Mr. Garrett online? Okay, thank you. We will continue on with our next item on the agenda, the consent agenda, which tonight contains personnel, warrants, approval of property purchase located at 1605 Road 72, City of Pasco, Franklin County tax parcels 118502022 and 118502040. Resolution number 1054, acceptance of Three Rivers Elementary Building Commissioning Report. Resolution number 1055, acceptance of Pasco High School heat pump replacement bid and award of contract for Pasco High School heat pump replacement. Property 108, irrigation line reroute change order number 1. Student travel for chess club students to Tacoma, Washington. Out-of-state student travel for Reynolds Middle School music program students to Athol, Idaho. Out-of-state and overnight student travel for Pasco High School dance team to Phoenix, Arizona. Overnight student travel for Chihuahua High School choir students to attend college tours and performances in Spokane, Washington. Overnight student travel for Chihuahua High School advanced guitar ensemble program to Bellevue, Washington. Out-of-state overnight student travel from McLaughlin Middle School FCCLA students to National FCCLA Leadership Competition in Orlando, Florida. Out-of-state overnight student travel for Chihuahua High School FCCLA students to National FCCLA Leadership Competition in Orlando, Florida. Overnight student travel for New Horizons FFA group to attend FFA convention at Washington State University. Sageview High School project construction change order number 18 and reinstating policy 3208 and policy 5011. I would entertain a motion.
Board President Brown, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Ms. Richardson, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Roper?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Next on the agenda are action items and extended study and discussion, of which tonight we have none. And so we move on to our reports, and I will invite Assistant Superintendent Goebel to give us our report on the Pasco Journey of a Graduate and Avid Connections. Assistant Superintendent Goebel.
Good evening, Board President Brown, Superintendent Whitney, and members of the board and student board reps. I'm excited tonight to give you an update on really to align district efforts, Pasco's Journey of a Graduate, and our ongoing Avid school-wide and district work. This presentation will demonstrate how these two initiatives are coming together to support our vision of college, career, and life ready for every Pasco student. The Journey of a Graduate, it actually started out as a Portrait of a Graduate, but we've changed the name midway because our students didn't like the word portrait, so we really wanted to amplify their voice. The Journey of a Graduate represents our community shared vision for essential skills and mindsets our students need to thrive beyond high school. These transferable competencies go beyond academics. They're about preparing students for life. Journey of a Graduate is more than a slogan. It is truly a system-wide promise to define and teach and embed these skills and mindsets across students' experience, K-12. It serves as a compass aligned to our outrageous outcomes and district's priority. So I want to give you kind of an overview of where we've been so far and really make the connection to the Avid School-wide and then where we're headed. So to explain the scope over the phase one, we call it a plan phase. We prepared, we actually partnered with Battelle for Kids, who actually does this work nationwide with other districts to clarify the project scope and really structure. We developed a strategic communication toolkit and launched a thought exchange to gather authentic community input back in August. This phase was about building the foundation and really calibrating our understanding and need, and really to establish project leads. We had leadership team and really identified design team that reflect the diverse cross-section of our schools and community. And the phase two brought our vision to life with deep engagement. Over 120 students, staff, and community members participated in design team sessions. These gatherings focus on really storytelling and meaning making, and student voice was prioritized throughout the process and really dedicate their parallel sessions with high school students at both high schools. As well as we actually had 22 students who came to all design sessions in the evening time. So we had really deep engagement of students, which was really exciting. The leadership team really synthesized all input, reviewed the drafts of the competencies, and helped shape the formal framework that we are now proud to share with you. And you have a copy of we call it a one-pager, in English and Spanish, so you could actually see the final product. So here you see the visual representation of our Journey of a Graduate. This graphic illustrates the competencies that define what it means to be a Pasco graduate. It reflects a thoughtful collaboration of our community and really emphasize the holistic skills that students need to be future ready. Not our past. We can't prepare our students for our past, but the future that it is really unknown to us, but we need to make sure that they're going to be successful. So the 6 transferable skills that we have identified collectively is adaptability, communication, critical thinking, learner's mindset, empathy, and responsibility. What you have in the one-pager is a definition that we co-designed, and that was a painful night actually, designing. These are not something that we Googled. We actually wrestled with a definition that was unique to us. So you see the definition in your one-pager. What's unique also about our definition that we wanted to make sure that we had a student statement. So same definition written in an I will statement from the students. And the last night that we were together, we actually had each student from the table read that out loud for all the community members here, which was very powerful. So the scope of work, we call it a kind of phase 3, the adoption year. That will be starting this spring all the way through next school year. That we have finalized and really share this Journey of a Graduate. And we are in the process of developing communication plan and like a toolkit and a rollout plan. Doing a formal presentation to the board, and I actually did a presentation to the principals. I also have a plan to going back out into Chihuahua and Pasco high schools in May to actually bring this back to the students who are very engaged. So we'll have one more iteration of engaging students as well. One other thing that is exciting about this work is that we have actually merged the Journey of a Graduate leadership team, and we have an Avid district-wide site team to actually implement Avid school-wide, and we've actually merged the team together. And I'm going to explain why that those two things are not separate. What's exciting about that is that anything that we do at Pasco, we don't do one-offs. Everything that was completely aligned to the things that we're doing and also with our 5 priorities. So I want to actually start by just doing a quick overview of, just to refresh, I know I've been in front of you presenting on AVID multiple times, but those of you who are not familiar, AVID actually stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. AVID is, it is a college and career readiness system. It's more than just a list of strategies. That it is a research-based college and career readiness system with a strong track record of really closing that opportunity gap, especially for students who's historically underrepresented in higher education. So AVID builds student agency and really collective educator agency through professional learning and really practical tools that makes difference in the classroom every day. What AVID does is it teaches what we call a hidden curriculum. So we have a curriculum in the materials, but how to access the curriculum, like through critical reading and critical thinking, AVID really intentionally calls out, and that's why you will see the alignment between AVID and Journey of a Graduate. So I wanted to just take a few minutes to talk about, this is AVID's college and career readiness framework. It really defines what the students need. Students need rigorous academic preparedness. They need opportunity knowledge. They actually need to know what's out there, what's all possible, but they also need student agency. But the framework also defines what is that we need to do as educators to make sure that all students are college and career ready, that all of us, every one of us, we're going to insist on rigor, we're going to break down barriers, we're going to align the work and really advocate for students, all of that by building deep relational capacity. That is framework in a nutshell. How is connected? Our outreaches outcomes around reading, algebra, and on track to graduation is all about rigorous academic preparedness. Our outreaches outcome around graduate with a career path, it is all around that opportunity knowledge. One of the most important, to me, is foundational, is a meaningful connections and hope for the future, which is our 5th outreaches outcome. It is really all about really cultivating the student agency. And belonging, what we've been doing, that every student belongs, really is about their relational capacity, that they can't learn until they actually are deeply cared about. And finally, Pasco's core value, our collective commitment to share in the standing the gap by bridge the divide for students by amplifying student voice and centering belonging. That is our collective educator agency, and that is AVID's alignment. You will see how that is closely aligned to the work that we're about to launch with the Journey of a Graduate. So what AVID's defined as essential skills, these are what we call a hidden curriculum. The student agency is all about learning how to build relationship, not just with the teacher, but with one another, persisting through obstacles, so we don't just give up when things get hard, activating knowledge and skills. Opportunity knowledge, advancing college preparedness, career preparedness, and developing future ready, and also the rigorous academic preparedness. How to, like learning to write, inquiry, collaboration, organization, reading, and you hear that as a WICR, right? That is, those are the academic skills. As you can see, that is closely aligned to students' their adaptability to be successful in school and in future. Communication skills, both orally and written and in language of instruction, because we do honor language as an asset. We have multilingual learners. And we want students to be critical thinkers. We want them to have a learner mindset, growth mindset, right? To always staying curious. And also having empathy, accepting one another and seeing each other as who they are and responsibility. So that those, you could see the close outline, a close connection between the AVID and the Journey of a Graduate. So what's next? Our next phase is next year, we're going to, currently we just have the definition. What we're going to, the work that ahead is we're going to develop what's called the specific indicators under each of the definition that it is developmentally appropriate. Because adaptability is going to look different in kindergarten than it is in senior year. So next year we'll have task force of teachers who's going to help us develop specific, we call them indicators under each of the definitions. Now that's going to be student friendly and also is actionable. It'll embed it into at the classroom level. We'll be doing some pilot grade level specific indicators. I know high schools are going to be launching this next year. All 3 high schools. It is aligned to the signature programs and career pathways, and you're going to be seeing this journey of a graduate posters in every classroom at the high schools, and we want to actually move that down all the way to kinder level. And our goal is the fall of 2026 is when we'll actually sort of launch district-wide what we call operationalizing the journey of a graduate. So we're pretty excited about this work. It has been a really unifying thing, but it actually really is, I think it's going to become the compass for all the work that we'll do moving forward. So with that, I can entertain any questions that you might have.
Well, Assistant Superintendent Goebel, that was beautifully presented, and I just want to say that this is gorgeous. I love this. I love everything about it. I love that the center picture represents like that first. Well, first of all, before I go into that, I love that you listened to students and said, "We don't like portrait, we like journey. I like it better too." So. And I think it really does encompass what you see here in the middle with this graphic of that, all of our students come to us as either pre-K or kindergartners, and then we guide them on this journey of getting ready to step out into life. And so I love the word journey, and I love this graphic in the middle. I didn't expect to hear like the interwovenness of AVID, but I thought it works in so beautifully. And I like how you said a hidden curriculum, because so often it is, you can teach skills to students, but it's how do you help them to understand, to read critically, to write proficiency, to write at grade level. And that really connects with having the responsibility and the critical thinking part. What I was really pleasantly surprised by, and what I love about this also, is the empathy and communication. That is something that, for whatever reason, our students just need a little bit of extra help with, and to learn how to empathize with each other, to learn how to listen and to communicate. And so I absolutely love that we're focusing on those things, and that's part of our learner profile. So we don't just say, yeah, those are things that we should learn in our SEL lessons and in class, but no, those are things that, as Pasco School District, that we're really focused on our students receiving. And with AVID being interwoven, it helps every teacher to be able to really broaden their skills, but like new teachers who might not know, how do we help our students access these instructional materials to be able to give them those skills? And so I'm just really glad that Pasco is moving that direction and has been moving that direction for a long time. I like the next steps of that. This isn't it. This is not something that we just stick on the wall and say, here it is, we did it. We say, okay, now that we have this, how do we make transferable skills for grade bands? Not just, okay, when you graduate, you should be able to communicate and have empathy, but no, what does that look like in K through 2? What does it look like in middle school? So I love the next steps, and I can't wait to hear about them. Sorry that I took over the conversation. Do any of our other board members have any comments?
I went to many of the evening meetings for Journey of a Graduate. So did Owen too. The process that they used was great. I loved being able to put in feedback and seeing them actively react to that and actually use it for positive means. I was one of the people that said that Portrait of a Graduate didn't sound quite right. I feel like students are gonna like Journey of a Graduate a lot more and see themselves inside of a journey more than inside of a portrait. So
I was also helping with the Superintendent Action Council when we got one of the earlier previews of it. I really like that you guys took into consideration the way it would translate into Spanish and making sure you could directly translate it, but translating it with emphasis on what you're trying to get across instead of it being a direct Google Translate. You guys did, I really do appreciate that you guys took the time to make sure it was just as effective in Spanish as it is in English, especially knowing we also have like a lot of Spanish speaking students, K through 12, and a lot of Spanish speaking families. So I really do appreciate the dedication to making sure that those characteristics definitions held value in the other language as well.
Yeah, just kind of add on what they were saying. I really enjoyed going throughout the whole process, being able to see, you know, kind of step by step it building up, and being able to talk with teachers, parents, people from the community, kind of bounce ideas off of each other throughout the whole process. Just to kind of see the final product now, it kind of makes me proud of all of the people that were there to do it, and also appreciate all the work that was done outside of those sessions. I know there was a lot of time and energy put into this. That's kind of behind closed doors, and I just wanted to say I appreciated that.
Thank you. I knew that students would all want to speak into this because they've been so invested in this project, which just warms my heart.
Yes, thank you to all of our community members, our staff members, all of our stakeholders who participated in what we have created so far. If we have no further comments from the board or questions for Assistant Superintendent Goebel, I will open it up for public comment. Is there anyone present in the boardroom who wishes to provide public comment about the Paschal Journey of a Graduate and Avid Connections? Please approach the podium.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Miriam Hurtado, and I am actually here as a parent, community member, and I am also the Director of Workforce Readiness for the Boys and Girls Club. And I just want to say that I am immensely just proud of the work that we have all collectively done. And the one thing that I really admired about all of this is just what we just heard earlier is the student involvement, as well as parents, teachers, community leaders. I think at this point, in a thriving community that we're in, we have a good we're having our students be prepared for what the thriving communities to offer in the future. And so with that, I also want to say thank you to the students. Some of you guys were there, and I really appreciate that feedback. And Danica, I also appreciate you mentioning that Spanish piece. I have been in the education system for about 10, 11 years. And one of the things that I always advocate for is that making sure that every document is that Spanish is just there for the parents and not just to Google Translate. So I really advocated for that. So I'm glad you noticed. But once again, thank you so much to Paschal School District for just offering this opportunity to all the community. I feel like, once again, our students are prepared or will be prepared with the amount of work that we put into this. And I believe that practice makes prepared, and so practicing all of this from the young age of kinder and following through all the way to the 12th grade, our students are going to be prepared for whatever's to come in the future. So thank you very much.
Is there anyone else present in the boardroom who would like to comment on our last report? Anyone online? Mr. Garrett? Thank you. Moving on to our next report, and then we will have our next two reports and then have public comment after our third report. Our next report, we will have Assistant Superintendent Lobos and Ms. Nunamaker in front of us to go over grades 6 through 12 English Language Art Curriculum Materials recommendation.
Good evening, Board President Brown, Superintendent Whitney, and members of the board. This evening, I am pleased to be here to present the curriculum materials recommendation on the behalf of the Secondary ELA Committee, or also known as English Language Arts. Okay. Oops. Oh no, one of my slides is missing. Oh no, okay. Sorry, I thought I messed up my slides. Okay, Board Policy and Procedure 2120 outlines the approach for the work of the instructional review committees. The purpose of these adoption committees is to identify high-quality instructional materials that support effective teaching practices and foster student success across the district. Below are the names of below are the names of the committee members who generously volunteered their time to support this important work, which we did well over a year. We started last March and ended towards the end of this March. As a first step in the curriculum review process, the committee developed a pre-screening rubric to evaluate potential programs, ensuring they addressed the diverse needs of the district's student population. Since materials were already aligned to state standards, the committee concentrated on identifying instructional resources that met the additional criteria outlined in the rubric shown on this slide. Next, the committee narrowed the materials to its top 2 choices, which were then distributed to schools for staff feedback. In addition, committee members conducted field tests of the top 2 resources to evaluate their usability and to gather student feedback. After completing the field testing, the committee reviewed all collected evidence and data before making its recommendations to the Instructional Materials Committee. The middle school ELA team recommends adopting Savis's My Perspectives for the following reasons: a diverse selection of texts that reflect various cultural perspectives and student experiences, fostering inclusivity and relevance, availability of both digital and print materials in both English and Spanish, grounded in evidence-based instructional practices, embedded student engagement protocols, scaffolding tools, and accessibility features designed to support diverse learners while upholding rigorous, standards-aligned academic expectations. The high school team recommends adopting Carnegie's Lenses on Literature based on the following considerations. The materials feature contemporary, culturally diverse texts that increase student engagement. Both digital and print formats are available, with strong support for real-time progress monitoring through Journey Tracker technology, and the curriculum is fully aligned with the current state standards and provides comprehensive resources to support them. District staff will be bringing the recommendation to the board District staff will be bringing a recommendation for board approval at an upcoming meeting. Before we ask for an action on that recommendation, we will provide the board with a budget status update for May 13th. This update will give important financial context to inform you of the next steps in curriculum purchasing process. The total cost of the curriculum materials is $2 million, which will be spread over 3 years. We are planning to purchase the materials using a combination of basic education, special programs, and capital project budgets. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Any questions for Ms. Nunemaker?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to all the work from our staff on the adoption committee. I know that's a lot of work to go through and pilot the materials, to sift through multiple different sets of curricula with different instructional materials. So thank you to all those staff members on the slide, for the committee participants who have put in their time and volunteered their hours in order to identify these 2 sets of instructional materials for adoption. We appreciate your dedication to helping our district have high-quality materials. And also to Ms. Nunemaker and Ms. Carla Lobos in leading that work. The next report is led by Ms. Thornton on our policies.
Good evening, Board President Brown, Board Members, Superintendent Whitney. The first reading that we have for you this evening is for a new policy. This is Policy 4218, Language Access. This is a policy that we're required to adopt under Washington state law, and the policy language proposed to you is consistent with the WASDA model policy and provides for the areas identified in the statute, which is 28A 183.020, accessibility and equity, responsive culture, focus on relationships, accountability and transparency. Many of these are things that we already have in place in the district, and we will be bringing this to you on the consent agenda for approval at the first business meeting in May.
Everything appears in order on this policy to me. Any other comments from the board and questions for Ms. Thornton? Thank you for keeping us in compliance with the law. Thank you, Ms. Thornton. That wraps up our reports for this evening. Do we have any public comment on our last two reports on the language arts curriculum materials recommendation or our policy 4218? Anyone online, Mr. Garrett? Anyone online, Mr. Garrett? Thank you. That takes us to our next agenda item, future agenda item. Superintendent Whitney.
Thank you, Board President Brown. At our next meeting, our study session will again be focused on the State of the School Review. I believe this is our fourth and final session of the State of the School Reviews, and I just want to offer a compliment to those State of the School Reviews that we've seen so far. They've been very informative and very well done, and I just also appreciate the board's thoughtfulness and the comments and feedback you've been giving our principals. During the board meeting, we'll have an overview of our PDLA, or Pasco Digital Learning Academy. So all those are the programs that you heard tonight. Our Flag Salute students are in those programs, and you heard some of those in terms of Pixel, IPEL, P3. So after that overview, you'll have a really good sense of what those programs are, and we have some exciting news to share about expansion of those programs. We'll also have our student board representatives provide an update of what we're doing at our Superintendent Action Council. We actually have a visiting group that will be providing some additional information about financial wellness. So we're excited to hear that. And then you'll also be hearing a presentation on this year's budget status and some preliminary information about next year's budget.
Thank you. Do we have any suggestions for future agenda items from our board members? Okay, then we will move on to communications. It's been compared to our most recent board meetings, a really quick board meeting, and I have to say that it's very appreciated tonight. So communications, Dr. Norberg.
I'll pass.
Dr. Kennedy.
Again, congratulations to the National Board of Certified Teachers. Wonderful achievement, and this district is very proud of you. Thank you for your work and your dedication to our students.
I'll pass.
Again, congratulations to the teachers that won, or the teachers that are now National Board Certified, and then also congratulations to 5 Star Guttering for being an amazing partner to us. And then just a quick comment on our exchange program with our Japanese students. I've had the pleasure of, over the 4 years, getting to know a lot of them, and I'm still in contact with a handful that currently live back home in Japan, as well with our exchange programs and with other countries in Europe. I have a best friend who's from Spain, so I really do think that our district should be proud that we have such strong relationships when it comes to international ties, and that I think fostering that kind of relationship with other high schools, like in other countries, is really important, because it also opens doors for our students, not only for understanding different cultural backgrounds and languages, but also more opportunities abroad, so our students are well aware of what the world has to offer.
I will pass.
Danica, I think it probably does feel like winning when the teachers check, like there's 3 tasks they have to do, and they like get to see as they pass each one, and like when it have to wait for it to update after you submit. So when that does pass, and there's a lot of teachers, it's a difficult assessment, and so a lot of teachers don't pass. So it feels like winning. I'm sure. I haven't experienced it myself, just a lot of other assessments. But I want to thank our elementary schools who were here for the State of the School reviews. A common thread that I heard through all of them was collective teacher efficacy, which has one of the highest effect sizes for student achievement. And so I really loved hearing that everyone is really focused on that. And I loved hearing also that although they recognize that it might not be a strength at the moment, they realize that it's an important step to take in order to further their student achievement in their buildings. And it was just amazing to listen to all of them, and all of our elementary schools who were here tonight. That was Three Rivers, Mark Twain, and Whittier, and to hear them really just delve into the work that they are doing, and they're obviously so passionate about the work that they're doing and so invested. So thank you to those administrators who were here tonight. Thank you to the staff at each of those buildings who are working so hard for our students. Unfortunately, I've been able to attend a lot of the State of the School reviews this year, except for the ones that were here at the district building because of life circumstances, but I do appreciate hearing those presentations, and I can see the amount of work that goes into them. And on another note, I want to wish our own Dr. Kennedy a happy birthday tomorrow. And we will, before we are starting with Dr. Norberg, I will ask Superintendent Whitney for her communications.
So I just wanted to recognize and acknowledge that today is School Bus Driver Appreciation Day. I think a few months back I said it was then. It clearly wasn't. It's actually today. So I took the opportunity then, and I'll do it again today, to say thank you to our bus drivers. Our bus drivers are the first person that our students see in the morning and the last person our students see at night. And I think probably one of the most complicated jobs in our district. We move over 10,000 students twice a day to virtually all across this community, and they do so as professional drivers would do. That's only part of what they do. Anytime our students go to any of the trips that you approve, our drivers are also taking them on those trips. So it is an amazing service that bus drivers provide our community. They do it efficiently, they do it safely, and they do it with a smile. And I think our drivers are the best in the business. So just very proud to be on their team. Also wanted to acknowledge the HAP Awards are Friday night at Three Rivers Convention Center. We're celebrating our Hispanic academic achievers. 18 of the 32 awardees this year are from Pasco School District. So very proud of our students. And then hashtag still winning. You know how competitive I am, so I like to win. Cinco de Mayo and Carla's birthday is coming up. There is a parade on Saturday the 3rd in downtown Pasco. We will have a booth there, and there'll be student performances on our main stage. And first ever student as the Grand Marshal. So Robert Gomez Suarez, PHS 10th grader, is the Grand Marshal for the parade. He is our 2025 Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year. And I was in error. I thought he was going to be here tonight to be introduced, but he's actually coming at a future meeting where he'll be introduced. We'll celebrate him, and he's actually going to give his speech it's just 3 minutes, that won him the honor of Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year. So we're very proud of Robert and extraordinarily grateful to the city that he is our Grand Marshal for the parade. I also wanted to highlight that there'll be an upcoming community engagement around our long-term facilities management plan. There'll be a survey opportunity, but there'll also be a series of in-person meetings. Jake Stickle is heading that up. He and I met today. I was impressed with the depth of thought that he's put into making sure that it's true, meaningful, and authentic community engagement. So looking forward to engaging our community and getting some really solid feedback around our long-term facilities management plan.
Thank you, Superintendent Whitney. With that, we will adjourn into executive session under 42.30.110/1G, performance of a public employee. Thank you for your attendance this evening.